Kevin Holland might be the most annoying and egotistical fighter in the UFC right now. Kevin Holland went from being one of the most loved fighters on the roster, taking fights at any point, fighting often, winning, coming up with cool finishes, mixing in his hilarious trash talk too, and even getting one of the best fights of 2022 with this fight against Wonderboy. But then things all of a sudden started to take a turn, as it seemed like Kevin Holland's ego kind of got too big for his head, and we saw a lot of changes. For example, Kevin Holland even being a dick to media members.
Why are you guys so focused on the fucking belt all the time? Excuse my language, but why are you so focused on the belt? I just told you I'm not worried about the belt, then you go back and repeat, ask me about the belt. Like, I'm not worried about the belt. Why are you so worried about the belt? You don't even fight for a living. Why are you so worried about the belt?
Well, I'm not worried. I don't fight.
I'm not worried about it either. Why are you so worried about it?
Also, Kevin Holland losing fights with excuses like how his opponent was just trying to wrestle him, but it all accumulated to Kevin Holland's last appearance on the Jaxxon Podcast, where he made an absolute fool of himself.
Yeah, that's the last thing he want to do is fight me, though. That's the last thing.
I still want to.
No,
I don't give a fuck about the fight on Saturday.
Kevin Holland posted a face-off between him and MVP, where if you guys remember, like Kevin Holland put his hand over MVP's hand in the face-off, and Rampage commented in Quentin Rampage Jackson style, saying it looked like two women scissoring. Yeah, guys, this is pretty much what you'd expect from Rampage. And Kevin Holland didn't like this. Apparently he took this to heart. This was the big insult that Kevin Holland crashes out about on the podcast. So what happened? Well, the podcast started, and you could tell things were a little bit tense. So I guess like the middleman or whatever, he decides to cut the tension a little bit and brings up the elephant in the room.
Like, I gotta break the ice in the room real quick.
I know you don't gotta break no ice.
I do.
I do,
ice. Rampage, because I love you, but I'm a fan of Kevin Holland. I love the way he talks.
I'm a fan of his too, but I know. Hey, I know everybody ain't my sense of humor ain't for everybody. We already talked about it on the FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? I like to joke around. I don't mean nothing personal with nobody. That's me. That's my sense of humor. Everybody ain't like me, and everybody ain't like you. If people, I've learned throughout my life, if people don't like my sense of humor, fuck it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Kevin, you could probably appreciate that attitude.
I mean, I guess in a sense, you know what I mean. It just doesn't work like that for Kev.
Why?
That's usually, if you say fuck it to me, it's usually fuck you. So.
Well, I didn't say fuck you. I said fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you say fuck it to me, I usually say fuck you.
Well, fuck you too. I don't give a fuck.
And then it's fuck. Yeah. And then it's F it. And then it's F.
Hey.
That's not gonna work for Kevin. Like, who does this guy think he is? He literally comes off as such a diva. Literally comes off as so sensitive over something as stupid of what Rampage said. Like, if Rampage actually said an insult, I would totally understand this. But the fact that you're just going to, go after Rampage as if you insulted your mother is crazy.
Everything's
you
not
think
funny.
Rampage is a funny guy?
Nah, this fool has temper tantrum problems.
Temper tantrum problem.
I think he's talking about the Ultimate Fighter and the Door.
I don't know what the fuck this
That's
guy
like 10 years
about.
ago, Kevin.
It's
People
the same
evolve.
thing. Not really.
You don't think people evolve?
Some do. Not Jackson.
Not bro actually reaching to 2005 to find an insult. At this point, Kevin's literally just come on the podcast just to act like some sort of tough guy, and it's just really cringe, honestly. Especially when you consider his last few UFC fights, and I used to be a huge fan of Kevin Holland, but his last few UFC fights, he has been losing time and time again, and you're really gonna pick on an old retired veteran and, try to intimidate? It just doesn't make any sense, dude. You're supposed to be in the prime of your career, and this is how you're acting?
Kevin was going to come on the show. He was very gracious. And then, Rampage left a little comment on Instagram, which I originally thought was funny, but then I understand where you were coming from.
I understand what
you were fighting MVP. You did this to MVP, which I thought it was a great move. Rampage made a joke on Instagram, and then Kevin FaceTimed me, said, yo, if I come there, I got to fight. I said, Kevin, we can't do all that. Then we'll just have to reschedule. But I do want to say thank you for coming on the podcast a year later.
That's the last thing he want to do is fight me, though. That's the last thing.
I still want to.
No,
I don't give a fuck about the fight on Saturday.
We didn't know just how true those words were.
You don't want to fight me.
I'm just being real.
I'm being real with you, young buck. You
I'm
don't
just
want to
letting
fight
you
me.
know.
I'm just letting you know.
It sounds good.
Sometimes people don't know what they want.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight me.
I feel like
sounds
Kevin,
good.
you have a very unique reputation. I'm throwing on one of the new Jakes ones.
Known for fighting everybody.
You're known for
and
fighting
anybody.
at all times.
Don't care who they are.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And
Bro is just trying so hard to sound like a tough guy here. But this is where things got really tense, because here we see Rampage Jackson criticize Kevin Holland about his ego, and this is where things really go off the chain.
I think it's an ego problem. That's what I think.
Think it's an ego problem?
That's what I think.
I don't have much of an ego.
Since we've been honest.
Unless we're sitting across the table and we're both shooting 45-70s, we're trying to see who can hit the target. I don't have much of an ego.
Well, I'm just
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I'm just telling.
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I'm just telling my opinion. You gave your opinion about my temper tantrum?
Yeah, I mean, I feel you 100%.
Okay, it's an opinion,
I'm just
right?
saying, if it's not a 45-70 that we're shooting across the room, trying to see who hits the target, I'm not worried about it. Do you know what a 45-70 is?
No, I don't.
Okay, then shut the fuck up.
You'll tell me shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Because
You don't understand what what a 45-70 is.
He doesn't know what a
You're talking
45
about ego. Now I'm giving you some ego.
Oh my God, Kevin Holland just owned Rampage Jackson because he didn't know what a 45-70 is.
What type of man are you don't know what a 45-70 is?
Because I don't know what a 45-70 is.
Yeah, that's kind of retarded.
Like, does Kevin Holland have Tourette's? Because that would explain a lot. Because, yeah, while the guy talks a lot during his fights, what is he talking about here? What does this have to do with ego? What does this have to do with, you know, Rampage Jackson making a joke? Kevin Holland is an MMA fighter, and let's be honest, would probably knock out Rampage. And the guy feels a need to flex guns? Like, I'm just confused at this point.
You said ego, so now I'm giving you my ego. This is where my ego steps in. So which caliber do you use? Because it comes to ego to fighting, I don't have much one. But it comes to ego, you want an ego with something, I'm going to tell you what the ego is for.
I like the AR.
Well, what caliber do you shoot?
I would say maybe a 22.
No, it's not a 22.
I would hope not.
You can't shoot a 22 with AR. I see exactly.
I mean, if you're going to shoot a 22, I mean,
Kevin, what do
you and my son might have some competition. You're a big guy, so
but
I expect you to shoot something a little bigger than that.
Like, did Kevin just start, like, going to shooting ranges or something? Like, why is this all he wants to talk about? And who gives a fuck what guns you can shoot? Does anybody actually care? I mean, maybe this is just a Texas thing. Kevin Holland is from Texas, but outside of Texas, I don't think anybody cares. I'm not even sure people in Texas care. You guys have to let me know in the comments.
I feel like you guys would be best friends. I'm not going to lie. I feel like you guys would be best friends. I think if we can get past
I don't think I could be friends with a guy who don't understand jokes and sense of humor.
I gotta just clear the air on this one. Were you upset that he left a comment like that? Or you're just upset that
Don't play with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Play with somebody else, don't play with me.
But you seem like a guy who loves to play around.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So why take it out on Rampage? He's a legend.
Like I said, you could. I like playing around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm a player around.
Some people can dish it, but you can't take it.
Yeah, why you can dish it all that?
Oh yeah, I can take it. I just don't know you like that. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you.
I
like
feel
at
that's
all,
a respectable
in a sense.
answer.
Yeah, I feel
You know?
it. I feel it. But you and I are not the same person, though.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
everybody
don't want
not
to be
like
the same
you.
person as you.
Same here. I don't
You know
want to. I don't want to be the same person as you, brother.
So what Kevin Holland says is like somewhat reasonable. He's like, look, like I'm okay with people making jokes at me, but I don't know Rampage like that. And he's just taking it like disrespect. However, once again, this would all be normal if Rampage actually made a, you know, comment towards Kevin Holland insulting him, maybe even making fun of him for losing. Like, I don't even know how Kevin Holland remembers this joke. That's how insignificant this joke was, honestly. Like, this was nothing. And then Kevin's gonna come on this podcast acting like he just got disrespected, acting like that he wants to fight. But then the co-host successfully de-escalates the situation. Kevin Holland becomes a lot more calm, and it seems like there's a normal podcast after this interaction.
Respectfully, you guys should shake it off.
I definitely respect the OG in him, but
Yeah,
still don't play with me.
All right, so we're going to move past that now. We're going to move. I feel like we got it all out.
But it just goes to show, because if it was just this one incident, I would be fine. And look, I used to be a huge Kevin Holland fan. I mean, I'm talking like one of my favorite fighters of all time. Like, I was a huge fanboy in 2020, 2021. And look, you could lose, and that's fine. I think Kevin Holland is still savage. I honestly think he's still a really good fighter. Kevin Holland has the potential, I think, to be better than what he is. I think he has the potential to, you know, not get submitted in the first round by Rainer de Reeder. I think if he goes to 170 and actually focuses on himself, I think he could have some success. And please stop being a dickhead to these media members. Stop being a dick to Rampage, who just made a stupid joke on Instagram that literally nobody cared about. Stop being a dick to media members just trying to do their job and ask questions. But he has definitely changed these past few years, and I hate to make this video, but yeah, it just had to be done. I thought there was no one better to talk about the situation than me, someone who's been a Kevin Holland defender and a big Kevin Holland fan, and I hope he does change in the future, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you guys think that this whole interaction was as weird as I did? Check out my last video where I talked about Umar's fans absolutely melting down after the Marab win. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.